God's cosmic clock. I came across this completely by chance, if that's what you want to call it, by detailing in an Excel spreadsheet every conjunction that Jupiter and Saturn have had since the Great Conjunction in 7 BC. This was originally discovered by Johannes Kepler in 1600, and here you can see a diagram of his example of attempting to explain it. How it works is each 20 years or so, Saturn and Jupiter conjunct. So they don't conjunct very often. It takes about 60 years for them to form a full triangle. And each of the legs of the triangle I've got in a different color. And this is explained in a Harvard University article which I found. It says, successive Saturn and Jupiter conjunctions, this is stepping through the zodiac, develop an interesting pattern as they step around the ecliptic, as noted by Kepler. The pattern is more regular if one uses zodiacal signs of equal length instead of constellation boundaries. Saturn travels about 2/3 of its orbit, about 240 degrees, between conjunctions with Jupiter. If a conjunction occurs in the sign of Aries, the next will probably occur in Sagittarius, about 240 degrees away, and the third in Leo, about 240 degrees along the ecliptic. The fourth conjunction will likely also occur at Aries, so on the fourth conjunction the triangle is complete and it starts a new triangle. Since Saturn completes just over 2 orbital revolutions of the Sun during the 59 years covered by the 3 conjunctions. So you can see this clock moves slightly further and further along in an anti-clockwise direction. And here I have listed every major conjunction that has happened since the birth of Christ. And if we go from after the crucifixion, these conjunctions have occurred exactly 100 times. There have been 100 Jupiter and Saturn conjunctions since Christ. We are now coming up to the 101st conjunction, which is taking place in the sacrificial sign of Capricorn on the winter solstice, right before what I believe we can see in the heavens as mid-tribulation. Keep in mind, the next time that Saturn and Jupiter conjunct is going to be in 2040 in the sign of Virgo. So here we have a perfect clock telling us this thing has ticked 100 times. There have been 100 conjunctions. Or you could look at it as the triangle having moved 33 times. The whole triangle itself has moved 33 times in an anti-clockwise direction. And we know that Jesus Christ was crucified at 33. You couldn't make this up. If we take the conjunction precise average, because sometimes it's a little bit more than 20 years, sometimes it's a little bit less, but if you take the conjunction precise average, it comes up with 19.86 years. And that's also mentioned in this Harvard University article, which I'll link to this video. 1,986 years added to 30 AD is 2017. The heavens declare the glory of God day unto day. They uttereth speech night unto night. They bringeth forth knowledge. This is telling us in a clock when the rapture of the church is. This is a second witness. Saturn makes its 70th orbit since Christ in 2024. The rapture of the church happening in 2017 on the Revelation chapter 12 sign matches up perfectly with Saturn concluding its 69th orbit in 2024. We have God's cosmic clock in the heavens telling us when the rapture of the church is. I'm going to try and demonstrate this clock between Jupiter and Saturn. What I've done is I've set the conjunction precise average, which is 19.86 years, and it's a bit difficult to demonstrate because, as I said, sometimes they meet at a little bit more than 20 years, sometimes it's a little bit less than 20 years, but the conjunction precise average is 19.86 years, which is fascinating because what it illustrates is that God has total control, and he's so precise with this, even though it's not exact, if you know what I mean. The science isn't exact, but yet he is exact, and 19.86 years is the conjunction precise average. So I'm going to go forward, and hopefully you can see. I'll probably have to slow this video up so that you can see this working. Here we go.